channel. I am Queen Fauzia, and if you're watching me for the very first time, please take your time, subscribe to my YouTube channel, watch my videos. If you like them, share them with your friends. Anyway, if you've been watching me over and over, like to say you are a Queen Fauzia's family, I thank you so much for your massive support. Keep on supporting us. Let's keep on growing. We are going. Anyway, thank you so much, my people. And today's video will be a bit sensitive. So, not for everybody, but for me, it will be also a bit emotional to talk about, because it is something that is really directly in my life. If you see me becoming emotional, just bear with me, because sometimes it has taken me years to talk about this. Because I remember one of my videos when I was preparing my boy to start the school, I told you I'll definitely make this video for you at the right time. Right time means it was still very heavy for me to talk about this, but now I feel like it's the right time. I want to share with you exactly what happened and how I've been struggling and what is really going on, because it's been like years of struggles. We're almost 10 years of struggles. And just as a mother, you don't want like everyone to know what's going on. You keep on wrapping everything with smiles and trying as much as possible to keep everything away from everyone, because you want the best for your family, you want the best for you, you want the best for your children, you want the best for everything. So I've tried to keep this so intact that I would say 1% of the people I've really shared with this, because I needed really to share. I shared it because I really needed to share it. But even that point that I was sharing this with them, believe me, I was crying every moment. I was crying every moment. I remember one time I was in the kindergarten and I was just trying to explain to the kindergarten teachers what's going on, because they couldn't understand. They couldn't really understand. I mean, I found myself breaking down into tears, and I think I didn't finish the whole thing. I didn't finish like trying to explain to them what is going on, because they couldn't understand what was going on. Another time in school, I had to put myself into that situation again, explain everything from here to here. And I think it is something I've been going through for many years. And at some point, I say, I thank God for everything. I thank God that everything is the way it is, because I do normally say that whichever way whichever way it goes, or whatever reasons it happened, or whenever places or whenever situations I find myself, be it negative or positive, one thing I am so proud of is that I thank God for everything in every situation. When God puts me in some situation, I know He knows that that's not more than I can handle. And this is exactly what I'm trying to say now. God put me in a situation that I thought I couldn't handle myself, because I think all these years, all these 10 years, behind the closed doors, I've been secretly crying. I must not tell the world, I must not show the world that I'm crying, but this is exactly what's happening. So, the story I want to share with you is about how I almost lost my baby during birth through forceps. I don't know whether there are women here who have ever gone through forceps birth, or in other words, vacuum extraction. Have you ever given birth through vacuum extraction? And for those who don't know what vacuum extraction is, this is where the midwife will help you pulling out the baby with a vacuum, like sucking out the baby literally, to help the baby come out if the baby cannot come out normal. And for some people it has been successful. For some people it was a story to be told after. Like in my case, it is a story now I'm telling after. It's now 10 years since we had that. I had my pregnancy till it was plus 1 week. So my water broke and I walked myself to the hostel, because I was lucky enough, because the hostel where I was supposed to deliver my baby was just like 3 minutes walk from my house. So I walked myself there and I told them my water has just broke and I have to, my baby is coming. They told me, yeah, we have to pack you here, but unfortunately there were not enough beds, kind of. I don't know what really happened. Then I had to be transferred to another hostel. But before I was transferred, things were getting worse each and every minute, because at some point the contractions were very intensive. At some point they were down. At some point they were intensive. Some point they were down. It's normal for every woman who is experiencing normal birth procedure. So things were just normal till a point where I had no more strength anymore. Like with this, I became of no energy. There was completely nothing left in me. They wanted, like I was saying before, if you are a first mother, you are going to give birth and you are less informed, you are risking a lot. I'm advising first mothers to get enough information concerning their birth, the procedures, and exactly what to do during your birth and before and after your birth. I'm telling you, I was so ignorant of everything. I was so ignorant of everything that this was really costing me a lot. And this was the first time they wanted to put epidural. They wanted to inject me epidural. And because of my ignorance, I had said, no, don't inject me that, because I don't know what that is. My God. I was becoming weaker and weaker, until it got to a very bad situation that I was weak till I couldn't open my own mouth to talk. I couldn't even raise my hand to hold something. Everything was collapsing. The baby was getting more stressed. But you know what? It's none of their business, because they can't go beyond what I say. That is the law. That is it. If I say I don't want epidural injection, it's my own decisions. My own decision stands in my hand. Whatever happened later, I just have to sign that I don't want it, and then they are safe. Things were not happening well. Things changed after like 4 hours, 5 hours. Nothing is happening much. Here, nothing is happening much. I think after 6 hours, I was still at 4 centimeters. 6 hours of labor pain. I was still 4 centimeters and nothing is moving. After that, my husband told me later he signed for that, for epidural and CS, in case things are getting worse, because they had to pull him aside, talk to him, and he had to sign on my behalf, because at the state where I was, I couldn't sign anything. I was not in the normal state of mind that would allow me normally. They won't allow me, because in the law, I'm not allowed to sign anything in that moment. So they couldn't allow me to sign anything. So when he did this, they took me and injected my back, because I couldn't even get up on my own. They had to get me up. A lot of people were holding me from this side, from this side, from this side. And it was really terrible. Then, fortunately enough, after something like 30 minutes later, I got strength like I was never before. I got strength. There was no labor pain. There was nothing going on. There was completely nothing. And then at some point I felt like, am I really still pregnant? Is my baby still okay inside? Is everything okay? Because this was something new to me. I didn't know that epidural was going to gain me some strength and make me a little bit, was going to make me a little bit stable to give birth in a normal way, or not in a normal way, but to give me strength so that the procedure could be smooth for me. So the time went by. It's now like 16 hours after. Nothing is happening much. 17, 18, 19. We are getting to the 20th, 21st hour. Before nothing happens, we're still struggling up and down. At this point, the baby has started getting stressed, kind of. Now, it is so far, you are ready to push, because everything is ready. The down has opened extremely enough for you to give birth normally. So the thing is, we went to the table, ready to start pushing. I remember clearly what they told me. I went there with so much energy that I said this was it. I'm going to push. I never knew even how to push. So they were instructing me, we count 1, 2, 3. If you hear 3 is when you push. Don't over push, don't down push. Like, don't push beyond what we tell you. Just push till we tell you stop. When we say stop, you stop. I said, okay. I was so excited, very excited, because I was finally not going through CS that we both didn't want. So what happens here is I lay there on the table and it was time to push. I had the footage of this giving birth, but my computer crashed. I could have showed you exactly what I was going through here, or what was exactly happening here. If I showed you this video, it's either you'll laugh or you'll cry. Two has to happen. You'll not just be watching it like this and say, no, you laugh or you cry, because it was both painful, emotional, and funny. So I could push till they're shouting, stop, I'm still doing, I was still pushing because of excitement, and I was feeling I was full of energy, because like I heard before, like we normally hear, I heard before that, oh, you have to push. So I was pushing and pushing beyond what they were expecting. So they told me, calm down. You only push when we tell you stop, when we say stop. I was pushing and pushing and pushing. Nothing was happening. I was pushing and pushing, nothing was happening. Things were getting worse. Things were really getting worse. And this is the point I got scared. I got scared because I didn't know what next. I've suffered all these hours, and now the final time where I have to be starting getting happy, I'm finally happy. My baby is almost there, and then things are not working again. So I asked myself, what is really my fate? You know, I was there, like, the moment I heard them saying that the oxygen in the baby is getting down and the baby is extremely stressed and the baby is not reacting. The baby is not reacting at all. Is not helping himself to come out when you're pushing. Like, the baby is stagnant. So I was like, in other words, is my baby already dead? Is he still alive? You know, a lot of questions were going through my mind. I remember that moment I shouted, please do what you can. Do what you can to save my baby. I've suffered enough. And then one of them said that the only thing we have to do here is to help you through vacuum extraction. And it is just something we will have to try, which has a lot of risks. We can't explain everything now because we are short of time. We have to get the baby out. They were up and down, trying to make things work. They tried for some time, and then all of a sudden I had my baby come out. And when my baby came out, I don't know, things were not normal from the beginning. I mean, the baby didn't cry for some time. I could see the way they were struggling up and down, and then my baby started crying. To be honest, at that point, I knew it was already a lost case. I knew it was already a lost case, and I remember just asking God, I thank you that I'm still alive. If that is what you planned, let it happen. If you didn't plan for that, please, this is my last prayer. I'm never going to ask anything again, but please give him just one more chance to live. I begged God for my baby to have just one more chance to live. Yes, God answered my prayers. And voila, my baby was there. And I remember after that they took me to the waiting room. They took me to the room where I was supposed to stay after giving birth and nursing my baby as I wait for the discharge from the hospital. But something really happened exactly 4 hours after birth. My baby started with too much cries. My baby was crying, uncontrollably crying. I couldn't do anything. I tried everything, nothing was happening. And then after some minutes, I could see him starting jerking the left hand like this. He would cry, jerk the hand. He would cry, jerk the hand. My baby was jerking the arm 24/7 like this. And the more he cries, the more it was increasing and increasing and increasing and increasing. So I was there alone and I didn't know what to do. I rang the bell and called the nurse who was around, and I explained the situation, what was going on, what my baby was, how my baby was behaving. And they told me, oh, we have to take the baby and go and do some tests, run some tests on him and do some checkups on him, whether everything is all right. Na Toto, Mama is here. So they took my baby and they said they promised to return the baby as soon as everything had finished. So I waited. 1 hour went, 2 hours went, 4 hours, and then I was asking, there is a nurse who took my baby here and nothing I've heard. So this is this, my baby is called so and so. This, they went and checked the baby. They told me, calm down, we are running some tests still on the baby and we will let you know when the baby is ready. So I was there waiting for my baby. A whole day went, my baby was never returned. So I said, no, I want to see my baby. And even if you're not returning my baby right now, I can still also walk properly. Please, someone can push me even with a bed to go and see my baby. So they took me, and when they took me to the ICU. I found my baby chain. My baby was all over. My baby was not someone I saw when I gave. My baby was completely not the one I gave birth to. I found my baby suffering. I couldn't even do anything. I couldn't even hold my baby. I couldn't even hold my baby. They told me, you cannot take your baby out. He has to stay there. I remember every day I was just spending time crying and crying and crying and crying. I cried. Time went. I took good 3 months in the ICU with my baby crying. Doctors running up and down. Nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. They told me that there was an injury in the brain. The baby was injured during the birth,